Hey everybody, this is Dirtbag. We are here with the lead artist from Bioshock Infinite, Shawn. Now, as far as the feel of Bioshock goes, it seems that we've taken a drastic step away from Bioshock 1 and 2, obviously, a whole new setting. Now, can you tell us really, what were you envisioning when you first started? Is this close to the final product, or, what was the concept like originally?
Well, our original concepts when we decided to do Bioshock Infinite, we knew that, we didn't really have any more stories that we wanted to tell in Rapture, so we were thinking about new locations. And when we hit upon City in the Sky and we started playing around with ideas of what it should look like, we really came up with a city in the sky that looked like Rapture. It was dark and gloomy, the clouds were in close, had a greenish tinge to it, and we literally just started pushing the clouds back until we came upon that aha moment, Americana, 4th of July, bright blue sunny sky. So it wasn't something that we just sat down around the table and said we're going to do this. It was a long process. We have a lot of talented people back at Irrational, and it wasn't like any singular person that at this moment. It was a lot of help among the team, and Ken really pushing us to come up with these ideas. As far as asking us if the demo is the final product, we all know that demos from the time a demo comes out to the final product, there will be tweaks made, but you are seeing something that's close to our final vision as far as the art stuff goes.
As an artist, I wanted to ask, really, what are you the most proud of all this? What were you the most involved with that you really just feel proud to see this in the final product of the game?
As my role in lead artist, I don't really get as much hands-on stuff as a lot of the other artists do. You can look across the art team and say, hey, there's the guy that built the character models. There's the guy that built Elizabeth. There's the guy that built the buildings that you're looking at or the signage, and there's the person that animated this scene. My job and where I'm proud is bringing all this stuff together, kind of herding all those cats and getting all these things in game. Working with Ken to get a lot of narrative stuff to work correctly, and the interactions between the player and Elizabeth. So ultimately, looking back at the people I'm working with is really the stuff I'm proud of, because it takes a lot of people, not just the artists. It's the tech team that's somehow getting every ounce of power out of the engine that they can to make it look as good as they can, and the designers coming up with some of these ideas that we're trying to illustrate. That everything comes together and forms this demo.
Jamie, Appleseed is here with us. Appleseed, do you have any questions?
Did you work on the original Bioshocks from Rapture?
Yes, I was lead animator.
So what was it like going from those smaller corridors that are kind of green and blue to these huge environments that where everything's just really bright and gold?
It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Like I said, it wasn't easy from both a mental standpoint, where you really kind of have to change direction on how you're thinking about building a world, and it wasn't easy from a tech standpoint, because you're really asking a lot of the engine, and that's again where I kind of point back to our tech team, give them a virtual pat on the back, because without them we'd be totally screwed. But like I said, we started off clouds enclosed, basically building corridors, and it wasn't until we really got that out of our head and started thinking about truly a city in the sky and wide open spaces that we finally got around to accepting that we need to build something totally different.
At Fragworld, we're very big into the community, really the interaction between community and industry, trying to bridge that gap.
Yep.
Now, did you guys take any cues from the community in terms of Infinite, its approach? What were you guys paying attention to, if you actually had an outlet for that at all?
I know that we do have, we have a pretty good community on our website at Irrational Games. The community manager. It's, as far as getting ideas from the community, they don't really know what we're actually working on from time to time. So by the time it comes out that we're doing City in the Sky, a lot of the ideas are internal to the group. We certainly love having the community, interacting with fans, and hearing their reactions. Looking at the forums when certain press releases come out. I believe a couple won a contest with us to come out to E3 with us and see the demo, and we had another contest where we got somebody's name into one of the signs in the game. So there's definitely things that we enjoy doing with the community.
Now, as far as the Americana feel you guys have brought to Infinite, which looks excellent, by the way. Now, really, What references did you guys pull for that? I mean, obviously you couldn't look at anything modern, just walk it in the street and say, hey, that's something we'd like to feature. So where did you draw a lot of your inspiration from?
We really like to go back to the source material when it comes to that. There's plenty of photographs from the time, 1900, 1911, even predating and going back to the Chicago World Fair 1893. Looking at those photographs and just how different it was at that time, but yet the same. Streets were still full of signage. There's advertising everywhere, but they all look different. There are different types of signage, different types of streets, cobblestones, and the sidewalks are different. I mean, those are the little details that we kind of latch onto and want to bring into Columbia and make it feel like a real city. So we really like going to the source, because taking that source and making it a city in the sky is really going to make it ours.
Do you have another question?
No, well, it seems, Shawn, we were actually out of questions, but you did an excellent job answering them, so I'm not picking on you. Thank you for your time. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Any last words for the community?
Bioshock coming out on 3 platforms in 2012.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.